Nanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So we're continuing our reading of Sri Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila, chapter 19, entitled The Lord Instructs Srila Rupa Goswami. It's around about text 237. 237. So we've just been hearing wonderful philosophy given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Lord Chaitanya. He's been speaking to a very surrendered devotee, Rupa Goswami, and it started off about text. The philosophy started off about text 140, and now it's nearly 240. So about 100 verses, the Lord has been instructing Rupa Goswami. And it started off from Lord Chaitanya telling Rupa Goswami that the soul is about 1/10,000th the thickness of a hair in size. So that was where it began. That's our real position, that we're tiny, and that's the beginning of Vedic teaching, is to become humble. This is the first lesson in Vedic philosophy, that we need to become humble. Our disease, one of our main diseases in the material world, we're so proud. We're so proud. And because of that, it's impossible to actually learn anything, any spiritual knowledge. You can't get any benefit from the guru if you're very proud. So the first thing is to become humble. So yeah, it's very humbling to hear that we're 1/10,000th the thickness of a hair in size. And then he explained that that soul is like wandering around the universe.
If he wants to move the car away, you're going to have room because it's a bit possible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
No. Want me to move?
But no.
It's all good?
No, all good.
Oh, no, that was just checking.
That's fine. That's fine. No rush. Okay.
Yeah, you take your time, Gulshan, no problem. So yeah, the soul's wandering around the universe according to our karma. And then if we're fortunate, then we get some mercy from Guru Krishna Prasad, the mercy of Guru and Krishna, and get the Bhakti-lata Bija. So it started off like that, and then it's come to the highest point of the philosophy of talking about our relationships with Krishna in the spiritual world, that our eternal relationships in the spiritual world with Krishna, all the different rasas. Very high philosophy that you're not really going to hear about that anywhere else, as far as I'm aware. You're not going to hear about that in any other religion. In most religions, you'll hear about maybe one rasa, that God is the Father and we're His children, right? But even if you look at what we've just been reading about, that rasa is not even there in the spiritual world, right? There's no rasa where Krishna's the Father and we're His children. There is a rasa that we're the Father, and that He's our child. And do you remember why that is, Narendra? Why is it better to have that rasa where we're the parent and he's the child, rather than he's the parent and we're the child?
I think it's because he wants to, probably in the spiritual, he is not a child, I guess. So he wants to experience the yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's I'm just guessing, I guess. Or I don't remember. Why? Why he wants to be a child?
What was the question? What did you say?
If it was a choice of God is the Father and we're the child,
Yeah.
or we're the parent and God is the child, which is better in terms of bhakti?
God is a father and we are the child.
That's in terms of the tattva. That's the philosophy, the truth, is that God is the father and we're the child. And all religions say that. All religions say that. But this we're looking at the rasa. So there's different kinds of knowledge. There's the actual philosophy, the truth, and then there's the relationships, the rasas. And in terms of the tattva, this is the tattva. God is the father, we're the children. But in terms of rasa, no, that's not good.
Okay.
That's not good in terms of a relationship. That's not good. Why is it not good? That was my question, Gulshan, to Narendra. That was
It's because you're more
Giant.
serve
Huh?
him. More chance.
Yeah, that's it. Gianty just said that too. So if you look in those two relationships between parent and child, who is doing the most service?
Parents.
The parents are doing the service. The children is taking the service. Is that what you want to do with your relationship with God? Take service from God? No, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. And like I said in the Tattva, God is maintaining everyone, He's protecting everyone, maintaining everyone. So he's doing so much for us. But when you reawaken your loving relationship with him, you realize that he's doing so much for me, and then you think, what can I do for him? And that's where your bhakti starts. That's where your bhakti starts.
Because he's always acting as a father. He's, as you're saying, I mean, he's acting as father. So if we want to change, give him variety as well, I guess, and then give us chance as well to serve him, in other roles, so that he's doing something for us. As you said, I mean, parents do so much of things, and one day, you have Father's Day or Mother's Day, you serve them or something like that. So it's like basically serving him because he's been doing so much, as you said, as a father.
So much. So that's when the bhakti begins. When we realize that he's doing so much for us, and we become grateful, and now we want to do some service for him. So when you become a devotee, you don't want to take service from God. I mean, you know that God's doing stuff for us, but you never ask. You never ask. You never depend from anything from God. You just want to give to God. You just want to give to God. And whatever he arranges, you'll accept that, but you're never expecting anything or asking anything. And that's why it said the two criteria for pure devotional service. If you remember, Narendra, going back to our definition of pure devotional service, anukulyena Krishna anu shilanam bhaktutama, starts off anya vilasada shunyam jnana kama navratam anukulyena Krishna anu shilanam bhaktutama. So it's you just want to please the Lord, and you don't want anything. Anya vilasada shunyam. You don't have any desires. You don't want anything from him. In another place in the Bhagavatam, it says that pure bhakti must be unmotivated. Unmotivated means you're not. I'm going to do this service for you, Krishna, and you have to do this for me. That's a motivation. But in pure bhakti, there's no motivation. I'll do the service for you. It doesn't matter what you do. If you kick me in the head or embrace me, it doesn't matter what you do, that I'll still serve you. So you're not doing it with any motivation in mind that if I do this for Krishna, I'm going to get this back. I'm going to become rich. I'm going to become famous. I'm going to go to heaven. I'm going to get liberated. These are all motivations. I'm going to get liberated. I'm going to go to heaven. I'm going to become.
Yeah. Unconditional service.
Yeah, unconditional. It has to be unconditional, no condition. And it should be uninterrupted. Uninterrupted. These are the two criteria in order for it to be pure devotional service. You can still do devotional service. That's interrupted and motivated, but it's not pure. It's mixed. That's called mixed devotional service. Mixed with material desires for material enjoyment or desires for liberation. like that. So those are other desires. But then the result is that won't bring the complete satisfaction. If we want the complete satisfaction, it's called Yainatma Suprasidati. If you want the complete satisfaction, the soul be completely happy, then we need to come to that point where it doesn't have any material motivations, unconditional and like that, uninterrupted, like that. And uninterrupted means like every day, like every day we're serving Krishna, not like often Hindus will do, on Tuesday. Who would you worship on Tuesday?
Hanuman.
Ganesha on Tuesday, and
Monday for Shiva.
Monday for Shiva, and like that. So that's interrupted. It's just one day this person, one day that person, like that, and it's not continuous. So that won't be completely satisfying. You could do that with Krishna. I'll worship Krishna on Sunday or whatever, and everyone else on other days. But then you won't get the complete satisfaction like that. And
You anything from Krishna.
yeah.
But then we see there are prayers like even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was going, when he was walking to India.
Yeah.
He was singing Krishna, 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 hey. And then he was singing Krishna, Rama, Rama, Rama.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Rama. So he's asking for protection.
John is saying sometimes that, a devotee might ask for something like protection, but that protection is also related to Krishna's service. We want to be protected. What kind of protection? Just the bodily protection? Is that what he's asking for? No, it's protecting from forgetting Krishna, protecting from falling into Maya. So that's not outside of pure bhakti to pray to Krishna, please protect me from falling in Maya, from forgetting you. Please help me to always remember you. Because that what we're asking in that case, we're asking for service. We're asking for service and for asking for him to keep us in service and not let us, leave the service. So the devotee will pray, please help me to always remember you, to help me to always be engaged in your service. Even the devotee says, even due to my past karma, if I have to take future births in the material world due to my past misdeeds, please help me not to forget you. Please keep me in the association of your devotees. So that kind of request is not a material. So what it's saying is you don't ask for material things, but you can ask for something in terms of you're serving him. Please help me to serve you better. Please help me to become a more pure servant, like that, to help me to serve your devotees or whatever. So that's not any separate kind of request like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when it says to become free from desires, it doesn't mean we become like a stone, a rock. But what it's saying when it says become free from desires means free from material desires. But you can have spiritual desires. You should have. We must. The soul, the nature of the soul is we're conscious, Chaitanya. We're conscious. So you can't not be thinking about anything, not desiring any, but it's just we want to transfer that from desiring, things for the body to desiring things for our, relationship with Krishna, with God, like that. And however, it is said that in an emergency, you can pray for some, help for the body, like if you're in a plane and the engine cuts out, and you pray, Krishna, save me. So that's it's not like, oh, look, you're really bad for doing that. You ask for some material thing for Krishna to help you. No, but that's like an emergency. You don't do that every day, do you? You don't ask for that protection for your body every day, but that was just an emergency situation, you know. You get attacked, like I got attacked by a dog once, you know. So if you pray to Krishna, please, you know, save me from this dog or whatever, you know. But that's just you know, not your normal kind of, you know, prayers, but just in an emergency. So things like that can still be okay, and then still that's regarded as within the umbrella of, you know, pure devotional service. That's okay. Mm. So now what's happening is that Lord Chaitanya he's delivered whatever philosophy he wanted to give, and he's empowered Rupa Goswami. I think that mentioned a couple of verses ago.
I think 35.
How do I get there? Actually, you told me last time. How do
Oh,
I
do
get
you got to go
there?
on the Veda base? Narendra
Yeah,
knows.
Veda,
You can go
yeah,
on the Veda base.
Veda base.
Yeah, and then you got to look up. It'll show you different books that are there. So look up Chaitanya
Srimad
Charitamrita.
Bhagavat, Chaitanya
No, Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yeah.
And then it's probably going to have Adi, Madhya, and Antya on the page. So you click on Madhya.
Sure.
Is that working out?
I'm just looking for Shiv Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
see, comes out. Yeah. It just comes up with a different page. Last time comes straight away, and this time it just no, it's not the which one? Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, or
Yeah, Madhya.
Madhya Lila?
Madhya.
Okay, let's see if it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which chapter were we? Are we
19.
19? Yeah, 17, 18, 19. Yeah.
So yeah, and then then 237. 237.
Okay.
So then, yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's empowered Rupa Goswami with this knowledge. He's given essential, you know, just the nuts and bolts, and then he wants Rupa Goswami to expand on that knowledge. So he's instructed him to go to Vrindavan, and he's going to expand on what he's heard from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and write many books. And one of those books is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar of Devotion, like that. And so now he's saying, see you later. I'm going, because they're in Prayag, a very holy place, Triveni, Prayag. That's where they do the Kumbh Mela, where all those millions of people come together, all the nectar comes down there. The Ganga and Yamuna and Saraswati or whatever meet together there. And then, so that's where they've been talking for 10 days. They've been talking for 10 days together. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, see you later, I'm going to Varanasi. And the Rupa Goswami is like, well, come on. I love you. I want to be with you. I don't want to leave you. You know, he's so attached. You can't imagine how beautiful. Like, you know, Bhagavan means full beauty, full knowledge, full strength, full fame, full renunciation, full wealth. So you're with that person that has everything you could be, you know, attracted to, you know, all together in one person, and then you're going to leave you. It's like devastating. We can't imagine how devastated he was. Says that, oh, I can't leave you. I want to come with you. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, remember, you're my devotee. You have to, you're my servant. I'm instructing you to go to Vrindavan. And so what can he do? He just, okay, yes, my Lord, yes.
120 kilometers prior to Varanasi.
Oh, Jayanti's looked it up. It's 120 kilometers from Prayag to Varanasi. So yeah, Lord Chaitanya is going to walk there. Obviously, he's not going to catch a train or a bus. This is 500 years ago, so he's going to walk there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually walked for 6 years all around, you know, India. You know, 2 trips he did like that, I think. And then for the benefit of all the conditioned souls. But yeah, so then what's going to happen now? Then yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walks off, and then Rupa Goswami just stands there because he's been forbidden from following him, and then he just collapses. He just, when I hear that now, he just collapses on the ground. He's just so devastated. You know, and this is what we call Vipralamba Seva. There's two kinds of seva. Sambhoga. Sambhoga means you're with the person that you're serving, so you're physically together with the person that you're serving. That's sambhoga. And then there's vipralamba. Vipralamba means you're serving but in separation, so you're not physically together, you're physically apart, but you're serving but in separation from the person that you love. And then sambhoga means together. Now, of the two, which is better? Sambhoga is
Together,
better or
obviously.
Vipralamba is better? Huh?
Together is better.
No,
Together, no. Well, how
no,
come?
Vipralamba is better.
Why? How come? Explain.
Because you think about him all the time because you're separate.
But if you are with
Yeah,
him, you are with them together. Is how do you want to be stayed together with your wife, or you want to be stayed apart from your wife?
yeah. No, that's a good point. But I'll tell you what.
Ghar ki murgi dal barabar, what you have.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, what he's saying is correct. You take it for
Take
granted.
it for granted, yeah. It's like Gulshan, when your van keys are in your pocket, are you thinking about them?
No. Like
If
it's in my
you
pocket and I'm
lose
in
your
the van. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if your van
Yeah.
keys are in your pocket, are you thinking
Yeah.
about them? No, you won't be. But
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you lose your van keys,
Yeah.
will you be thinking about them?
Of course.
A lot.
Yes.
Where are my keys? Where are my keys? Where are my keys? Where are my keys? So that's what the pure devotee is like. The six Goswamis were in Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was all over the place traveling, and then they're just thinking, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? They're feeling so much separation like that. So they never thought, oh, I have Krishna. Actually, they did have Krishna, but in their hearts, it was never away from their hearts. But they never thought, oh, I have Krishna. Oh, my mission is over now. I'm going to just lie back and go to sleep. No, they never were like, just, it was never over. Their bhakti was never complete. It was never over.
Yeah.
They were
It's
always in that mood of
so
hankering.
that's why the devotee is crying that because of the separation.
Yeah, that's why they're crying, because of that separation. But that separation is not, that crying and separation is not the crying of the material world that we're used to.
Yeah.
Like normally, whenever you see someone cry in the material world, it's like they're miserable. But this kind of crying is the highest ecstasy. Now, how does that work? And like I said, because, okay, so getting back to when you're separated from something, you think about it more. Okay, so now we've separated from Krishna or Krishna's devotee, and you're thinking about them more. So what's that going to do to you? The nature of Krishna or anything connected to Krishna, like Krishna's devotee, is fully spiritual. It's called Chinmaya. Is fully transcendental. So Sat, Chit, Ananda, that's Krishna's nature, the spiritual nature. Transcendental nature is Sat, eternal, Chit, full knowledge, and Ananda, full bliss. So if you think more about the object, which is Sat, Chit, Ananda, what effect is that going to have on you? You're concentrating more on Sat, Chit, Ananda object. Is that going to make you unhappy?
will be similar when
You'll become similar. You'll become like that. You'll become like that because that's what you're concentrating on. Where we go wrong, we think more about something that's asat, achit, nirananda, a temporary material object that's full of ignorance and is full of suffering. So you think more about that. Yeah, that's pure suffering. And then you will cry, and then that'll be just pure misery, no happiness in that. But if you if you redirect your concentration to concentrating on Satchitananda objects, Krishna, the spiritual world, the devotees, and you think more and more about those things, then you're going to become more blissful. And then you will, in due course, get your eternal existence back and your full consciousness back, because that's the object of your mind. See, wherever your mind is, eventually that's where you're going to be. Eventually that's where you're going to be. And like I said, this physical body that we have now, where did it originate from, this body that we have now? Our mental state. Because of our mental state in our past life, that has developed into this physical body that we have. So it starts off from thinking. From our thoughts. So if you keep thinking about Krishna or related to Krishna, eventually you become like that. It's not that you're going to become Krishna, but you're going to become just like Krishna. It's like Arjuna said, it was very hard to sort of tell the difference between Krishna and Arjuna. Did you know Arjuna is also bluish color skin? How come Arjuna is like bluish color skin? Because he's always thinking about Krishna. So he also looks like Krishna. Arjuna is also bluish color complexion. Shama, he also has a bluish color like that. And because he's always thinking about Krishna. Said even when Arjuna was sleeping, it said the Hare Krishna mantra was just radiating from his body. It was just radiating from his body, the Hare Krishna mantra. Hard to understand because it didn't say only radiating from his mouth, because I mean, even we know, even ISKCON devotees, sometimes like if you're in the brahmachari ashram, and sometimes you'll wake up in the night and the brahmachari's sleeping next to you and going Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because they've been doing that so much in the daytime that they also do it when they're sleeping. But Arjuna was like next level, because that said that the Hare Krishna mantra was coming out of his skin pores as well. So he's just so absorbed in Krishna consciousness. It's just like radiating out from his body. And also his complexion, also similar complexion to Krishna and everything. So this is the benefit of Vipralambha Seva, feeling separation, that you think about Krishna more, and then you just become more and more in Krishna consciousness, and then you're free from all the miseries and anxieties and everything like that. But sometimes, that devotee will be crying, so it might look externally like they're miserable or suffering, but actually internally they're in great ecstasy, always absorbed in thinking about Krishna. It's explained that Vipralambha Seva is simultaneously poison and nectar at the same time. It's like drinking poison and drinking nectar. It's an interesting concept to drink poison and nectar at the same time. See, the poison will kill you, right? But if you drink nectar, the nectar will stop you from dying. So see that the demigods, they drink the somaras, which is like nectar, to stop them from dying. Like with the demons attack them, then the demons obviously will try to kill the demigods, the devas. And then, but because they're taking the amrit, the nectar of the somaras and that, they don't die. They don't die. Careful, Savadana. And then it's also an example given. It's like that feeling of separation is like drinking hot sugarcane juice. You should try that sometime. Sugarcane juice is like, it's real, it's really nectar. But if you heat it up real hot, like almost boiling hot, and then try to drink that one, it's like burning your mouth, burning your tongue. but you can't stop drinking it because it tastes so nice like that. So yeah, it's quite inconceivable for us because obviously we haven't, ordinary soul hasn't experienced that kind of concept. We only know that, if you feel separation from someone you love, it's just painful. But yeah, it is completely opposite when that's centered around Krishna. And I mentioned it before. I've had a little. I couldn't really understand this subject very well, but now I understand a little bit better after I had that feeling of separation from my spiritual master after I got initiated, and then yeah, it was the most ecstatic day. It was the most painful day, but it was also the most ecstatic day. So at that time, then I could realize some little bit of what that means, that it's simultaneously, painful and nectar at the same time. And it was the best chanting I've ever done that day. And I couldn't get Krishna or my guru out of my head that day. It was a very memorable experience. Mm. Would anyone like to say anything about any of that?
Clear?
Okay, all good. Okay, so we can read that. Did we do that last time, Narendra? 237?
I think we did. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, let's read it. Eta Bali Prabhu Tanre Kaila Alingana Varanasi Kalibare Prabhura Hailamana. No, it's sorry, it's Chali. It's Chali, not Kali. Chali.
Chal.
If you
Walk.
see a C, it's Cha, like Chaitanya, right? So you don't need to have an H there. It's Cha. Chali Bare. Mm.
Itabali
Etabali Prabhu Tamre Kaila Alingana Varanasi Kalibare Prabhura Halimana.
After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Srila Rupa Goswami. The Lord then decided to go to city of Banaras.
Varanasi.
You know that God's happy with you if he embraces you. And that's your perfection of your existence, that he embraces you. But yeah, this Rupa Goswami is going to be so broken down after this because he's just got hugged by the Lord, and then the Lord says, "See you later. I'm off now." And it's just so devastating. It's just he would have been in so much ecstasy. I mean, if you were touched by the Lord, remember I said his body is just full of bliss, and you've just been hugged by this full bliss personality. And he would have had all the Asta Sattvika Bhava. That means 8 kind of ecstasies. 100%. It doesn't mention it here, but 100% he would have been experiencing that. That means, the hairs on his body would have stood on end, tears would have been pouring out of his eyes sideways, his voice would have been choking up, and then later on he just falls on the ground. So that's one of them too. You just fall down unconscious and everything. And another one's called Stamba Bhava. So that means I got a friend with that name. It means the body becomes just like stunned. You just can't move. You just become stunned. And often you read, like if you're like in Krishna-lila, when Krishna went from Vrindavan, Kamsa had called him to come and attend the wrestling match and bow sacrifice, and then Akrura, he'd sent Akrura in a golden chariot to pick up Krishna. And then so Krishna went, and the gopis, they held the horses and stood in front, like they're going to have to run them over, to leave. They were so desperate to keep Krishna there in Vrindavan, and they were crying and everything, and they tried to block Akrura. And boy, they were cursing Akrura. Oh my God, I wouldn't want to be Akrura. They were like cursing Akrura, you taking Krishna away from us, you rascal, like that. And But Krishna had a mission to go there, and Krishna's that was part of Krishna's plan to increase that feeling of separation in the gopis, so they will taste that highest nectar, and then other devotees can learn about it through their experience. So anyway, they left, and it said when they left, their bodies were just stunned like dolls. They were just standing like dolls for until the chariot went right off into the sunset, and there was just the dust, you could see the trail of dust from the horses and that, and then completely disappeared, and they were just standing like dolls. So this is one of the different ecstasies like that. So Rupa Goswami, you can just imagine after being embraced by the Lord, he would just been fully in ecstasy. And then the Lord's just left him. He'd just be so devastated. But that devastation, like I say, is just that's another kind of ecstasy. He would just be Lord Chaitanya just would have been in the mind of Rupa Goswami, just so intensely. There's just he's been with the most beautiful person that exists for 10 days continuously, and then he's just gone. You wouldn't get him out of your mind. You just wouldn't be able to get him out of your mind. So, yes, impossible to fully conceive of. But yeah, so at this point, he's been so fortunate, and now the Lord's leaving. Yeah, his emotions will be in so much turmoil. So much turmoil. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So at this point, he hasn't quite gone yet. He hasn't quite gone yet. Okay. We've still got a few more verses to go. Oh, so he's going to go the next day. Okay. So
Yeah,
he's
he's
not.
embraced and he decided
Yeah, he's
to go and
decided to
see
go.
Krishna.
Okay. So he's not completely brokenhearted yet. He's fully in ecstasy. The Lord's still with him, but yeah, he's decided to go. The Lord decided to go. Okay. Let's read some more. Prabhate utiya yabe karila gamana tabe tanra pade rupa kare nivedana.
Prabhate utiyata yabi karela gamana tabe tanre pade rupa kare navedana. The next morning, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arose of prepared to leave for Varanasi, Shri Rupa Goswami submitted the following statement at the Lord's lotus feet.
Yeah, so now he's about to go. Now he's about to go the next morning. And now Rupa Goswami's going to say something. Okay, Narendra, you can read this one.
If you give me permission, I shall go with your lordship. It is not possible for me to tolerate the waves of separation.
Yeah. Now the thought of separation. He's not actually separated yet, but just thinking about that soon he's going to go has already the pain has
Goosebump.
turned up. He just the thought that the Lord will go soon has made it impossible for him to think, how am I going to tolerate that? How am I going to tolerate that? It's impossible. It's not possible. So wow, we can't imagine the most beautiful person he's been with, most wonderful person now is saying, see ya, I'm going. Oh my God, it's just completely broken-hearted, but and spiritual ecstasy at the same time. So you might say, well, this is a bit conditional. He's asking, like I said, you don't ask for things, right? So he's asking, can I come with you? But he's asking, I can come with you so he can serve the Lord. So he's not asking for something for his benefit, but to give service to the Lord. So this is also not this the request is prayer or whatever request is not separate from devotional service. It's for for the purpose of serving the Lord, he's asking this, not just for his own enjoyment.
It's the same like a Lakshmana say that I want to come to the forest with you, Lord Rama.
Yeah, not to have a party, but to
Yeah,
serve
yeah.
Lord Ram.
Serve
And
Lord
and,
Rama.
and it's actually said that that Lakshman did not sleep during that whole exile
He
period.
was outside. He
Wow.
was just yeah.
On guard duty every night. He would
Yeah,
be on guard duty at the forest, that no Rakshasas are going to come and attack, Sita and Ram while they were wrestling.
The funny thing is that Ramayana came like 30 years ago on the TV in India. There was
Okay.
one of the series around there, and the people that do role for Lord Rama and Sita and then that Lakshmana, they did not get any other job for 35 years since the Ramayana, because they did very good. And then people are hoping that they will get the job in Bollywood, like, some more roles and some more work in there in the film industry or any other series or any other things. They did not get anything, zero.
Hmm.
It's been 35 years. They did not get any job. Like, it's very hard to believe if something very successful in one of the play, he obviously gets some, directors or producer are calling that, oh, I'm going to do this one. Can you come and do it? Because it's very successful and they don't get anything.
Okay.
So I was watching that on the TV, like, they look very old now. Like I was watching Ramayana when I was in India. It was in 1990, I think, 35 years ago, 91, something like that. It's everything is like, even the Muslim people are watching back in those days. Like even the traffic stops there. Even so if you're going in the taxi, that auto rickshaw, he stops. It's a Ramayana is coming there. He's standing near the panwala, near the those who selling the cigarette or something. He's got a small TV and a bunch of group, or even the rickshaw driver, they stop there, and then even the passenger also stop. You see, yeah, I don't mind. I want to watch that there. And then when they finish, then they go. Everything just stops.
Wow.
You probably remember, Narendra? Yeah.
Sunday morning for 1 hour, be quiet.
That's it. Everything stops. Yeah. Even Muslim people as well. It's just so much great there. Ecstasy, it's complete truth. And the truth is like, you don't need any support for the truth. And there was the truth.
Well, that's the piety of the people of India, that they still have a taste for hearing about God, and his pastimes. That's why they were given that birth, to give them an opportunity, those souls an opportunity to hear about the Lord's pastimes and everything. Very fortunate. But yeah, probably the Lord didn't want them to act in some stupid material role after they had performed that divine role.
Like,
it's a bit of a down, after you've acted as, Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, and then you're acting as some materialistic guy puffing on cigarettes and drinking
end of the
beer
day,
and everything like that.
They were doing only role. He wasn't Ram. He wasn't, Lakshman. They were doing the role of the Ram, and like, you're playing.
I know that.
And after that,
I know that.
When you take the clothes off, you're a normal person. If you still think like I'm a Lord Rama, you're stupid. You know what I mean? If
I'm saying,
if you act like a police officer on the play, and then after that, if you're still thinking a police officer, people will say, "Come on, man, the curtain is down. Take your clothes off." And you're not a police officer because you're just doing a role of it. So they were doing the role and back to the normal life, But eventually, I was just watching yesterday their interview. It's been 35 years. They did not get any job at all in the whole Bollywood industry. It was very surprising. It was so super duper hit, the Ramayana, and they did not get any job. I don't know.
But the fact is, because they did play that role, they have been injected with that,
but then
consciousness of the Lord. And then, like I said, to then go and act in some materialistic role is maybe the Lord doesn't want that.
But the thing is, like, but they're not Krishna conscious. Like, they're not Ram.
Well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Whatever. You could be thinking about anything, But if you
Yeah.
physically chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you're associating with God. You might not even know what it is. You could be even a completely ignorant person, and a devotee comes up to you and says, "Hey mate, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare," and you just do it for a joke or whatever like that. But the fact is that you were associated with the Lord. You didn't know what you were doing, but you did. So these guys might be the same, and they played that role. And now they've for whatever months or a year or whatever they played that role, then they've been put on the spiritual platform, and maybe the Lord doesn't want them to come back to the material platform.
Maybe.
Like the Lord doesn't want, us to leave Krishna consciousness and become a karmi again. So even if we might want to, I've had enough of Krishna consciousness, 30 years is too much. I'm going to go and down to the pub. But Krishna might not let me go to the pub. He just might smash my plans to go to the pub. So like that. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I mean, it could happen like that for them. Because I mean, it would be a bit stupid. They acted the
Now,
role of Lord
what?
Ram, and the next time they act the role of some, womanizer or drunkard or something like that, maybe the Lord doesn't want them to go to
But
some
no,
mundane
no,
role
Prabhuji,
after.
you just try that. Let's see how the Krishna can smash it.
I don't want to be smashed.
If you smash by Krishna, you'll be the luckiest man on the planet.
No, I'd rather just continue.
Are you sure about that? Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's read a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's not a big
Number
purports now.
240.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, read the next one.
प्रभु कहे तुम्हारा कर्तव्य.
Just read the English. We're running
English,
out of time.
Okay. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, your duty is to carry out my order. You have come near Vrindavan. Now you should go there.
Yeah, so Rupa Goswami said, I want to come with you. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, hang on a minute. Your duty is to carry out my order, not that you're telling me what you want to do, but I'm telling you what I want you to do. You know what I'm saying? So Lord Chaitanya is the master and Rupa Goswami is the servant. So ultimately, whatever the servant may want or not want, that doesn't matter so much. But the main thing that matters is whatever the master wants, and the servant has to carry it out. That's his duty. That is the duty of the soul, the individual soul. What is the duty of the soul? Is to carry out the orders of God. That's our duty. Same thing with the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna didn't want to fight, but Krishna made it clear, look, Arjuna, I want you to fight. So Arjuna said, okay, I don't want to fight, but you want me to fight, then I'll fight. So that's the duty of the soul. We have to carry out the order of the Lord. Sometimes you might like to carry out the order of the Lord. That's very good. And sometimes you might not like to carry out the order of the Lord. Very good. But you still have to do it, whether you like it or don't like it. And that happens in all of our lives, right? Sometimes you have a duty to do that you like, and sometimes you have a duty you don't like. Maybe you don't like to clean the toilets, but you still have to clean the toilets, or you don't like to cook, but you still have to cook. So it doesn't really matter whether you like to clean the toilet or cook, or you don't like to do it. But if it's part of your duty, then you have to do it. Like that. So yeah, the Lord's made it clear. I want you to go there. Okay, let's read the next one.
Later, you can go from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri through Bengal, Bangladesh, and there you will meet me again.
So he's pacifying a bit, because now Rupa Goswami is going to be completely terrified. Oh my God, I'm never going to see him again. But Lord Chaitanya now is pacifying his mind that don't worry, now you're going to Vrindavan, but you can come later to Jagannath Puri, and I'll be at Jagannath Puri, and we'll meet there at Jagannath Puri. So it's like, don't worry, it's only a short separation, and then you'll meet me again. So that's what I said. When you're feeling that mode of Vipralambha Seva separation, what are you going to be thinking exactly? You're going to be thinking, when I will meet the Lord again, and we'll do this and we'll do that, and there'll be ecstasy, and it'll be so blissful, and I'll see his beautiful face, and I'll serve his lotus feet. So while you're in that separation, you're always thinking about when I will meet, and then we'll do this, and when I will meet, then we'll do that, and like that. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how it works. That's how it works. So and then when you finally, so the whole time you've been away from the person you love, you're thinking about when I'll meet them again and we'll do this and that. And then finally, when you do meet the person you love, when the lover and the beloved meet, then it's just like ecstasy, complete ecstasy. So it's always, and the Lord is always arranging these changes taking place. So there's meeting taking place, and then separation, and then again meeting, and then again separation, and then again meeting. So there's all these different flavors coming in all the time. It's just getting better and better and better like that. It's out of this world, out of this world. And that happens to all of us in the material world now, right?
Yeah.
You meet someone you care about, and then you're separated from someone you care about, and then you meet them, and then like that. So Johnny was away for 3 weeks, and then we came together, and then like blah blah blah, go away, and like I have to go catering, and then come back together or whatever. Or the husband goes out to work and the wife's at home, and so he's been away during the day and then come back in the evening, and you meet, and then she has to go somewhere and away, and then you again meet, and the kids go off to school, they're away, and then again come back, meet, and like that. So we have all these different things, which are just also a reflection of those relationships in the spiritual world. But in the spiritual world, it's unlimited bliss, whereas in the material world, we get tiny little drops of these different same things that are going on in the spiritual world.
Yep. So the next one, after embracing Rupa Goswami, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got into the boat. Rupa Goswami fainted and fell down on the spot.
Yeah, this was the point that I'd thought about before. I was getting ahead. Yeah, so when he went away, then he just fainted, fell down. Yeah. Mm.
The Brahmana from Deccan took Rupa Goswami to his home. Thereafter, the two brothers departed for Vrindavan.
So yeah, stay with the Brahmana, and then so now it's mentioning two brothers. So remember, if we go back far enough, Narendra maybe remembers, there was another brother named Anupama. So now Rupa's gone with his brother Anupam, and then they've gone to Vrindavan. Okay, next one.
So there's a mention of Anupama being there at all, isn't it? He was not with the.
Yeah, so there's not much mentioned just about his name in that, but it doesn't seem like there was so much going on between the Lord and Anupam or like that. So I don't know why or anything. I'm sure he's still a great soul, but it doesn't seem like there was.
Probably not to the level of Rupa Goswami. Probably he's basically. I don't know. I mean, we are guessing, I guess.
Yeah, guessing, but yeah. But I can say for a fact there's not much mentioned about him other than his name and that he was the brother and stuff like that. So, but not much interaction like that. But I mean, he's very fortunate to be the brother of such a great personality. And we know, I mean, even look, I mean, Prabhupada had brothers and sisters and that, but you never hear anything about them that they are wonderful or great or anything. But still, I mean, they're fortunate that their brother is a pure devotee, but they might not have been pure devotees, you know. But still, they're very fortunate, Probably it's their ticket back to Godhead. That's enough. Just that, your brother's a pure devotee, is enough to be a ticket back to Godhead, but not necessarily they were, exalted in their activities or whatever. But and that's expected. That's expected. Okay.
After walking and walking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally arrived at Varanasi, where he met Chandrasekhar, who was coming out of city.
So yeah, Chandrasekhar is a pure devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he resided in Varanasi. So like that. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to Varanasi, then Chandrasekhar would, look after his needs, organize accommodation, prasad, and all these kind of things like that when he was there.
In a dream, Chandrasekhar had seen that the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come to his home. Therefore, in the morning, Chandrasekhar went outside the city to receive the Lord.
So that's far out, huh? So you're so absorbed in Krishna consciousness that even the Lord's coming in your dreams. So he had that in his dream that the Lord was coming, and that was the fact. So then when he actually went out of the city, acting on what he had seen in his dream, it was a reality. And his dream had seen the Lord was coming, and then he went out the next day, then the Lord was actually coming. So obviously the Lord had planted that dream in his mind so that he could come out to receive him. So it's actually said, Prabhupada explained that normally don't take dreams very seriously unless the dream has the God in the dream or the spiritual master or devotee in the dream. Then you might take something out of that dream. But ordinarily, don't take dreams too seriously, because what the mind normally does is puts all different things that we see during the day or whatever, put it together, and it comes out in funny ways and everything. Like you might see an elephant flying in the sky in your dream. Obviously, that's not real. But so the mind has seen an elephant, and then the mind has seen birds flying, and then the mind just puts it together, whatever, like that, different things. So from past experiences, it all gets all jumbled up together and that. So yeah, some people take dreams very seriously, and they write whole books about some silly dreams. But that's not what we part of our process. Because actually sleeping is the mode of ignorance. Sleeping is the mode of ignorance. So normally when the soul is in the mode of ignorance like that, then yeah, it's not very relevant, those things that are produced from that mode of ignorance time. However, like I say, exception is if God comes in your dream, the devotee like that. Narendra, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I want to say that when we say exception, so I mean, dream is a way God can communicate with you if you are in right, just like Chandrasekhar, he was thinking about it. So
Yeah,
it's a way where God can communicate here. I mean, it's
yeah,
if you are in material world, you think about material stuff that will come up in your mind, and that will be
yeah,
what you will. But if you're in right frame of mind, that is a way to connect to God. God can communicate to you.
mm,
So it's not all that. It's the way you use it. I mean, what you think about and what. So it's quite possible, and in this case, it's proven that he saw him and then he went there outside to receive him. So it's like he can use that. I mean, if God can use anything, I guess.
yeah. God can use anything. Mm.
But yeah,
See,
it's
Maya is going to put all sorts of crap in your head,
yeah,
and don't take that seriously. But Maya is not going to put Krishna in your head,
yeah.
or the devotee in your head. That is Krishna. That is Krishna's arrangement, not Maya's arrangement. So Maya's arrangement is a whole lot of junk in your head, but Maya is not going to put, yeah, if you see, Krishna, Radha and Krishna or Lord Chaitanya comes in your mind when you're sleeping at night, that wasn't Maya. You see, Maya cannot, is going to put God in your head. Maya's job is to make you forget God. You got it? So Maya's
Yeah.
job is to make us forget God. So if God is in there, that means that's not Maya's arrangement. That's Krishna's arrangement. So that one you can, okay, we'll take that a bit seriously like that. But otherwise, if it's just a whole lot of junk, well, don't take it seriously.
That emphasizes a point that what you think you get. So you think right thing, you will get. God will use it as a channel if you are thinking right. I mean, in what you should be. So that really. But if you are not, then it's not. You're gonna cook up something. Just whatever your mind materially cooked it up.
Yeah, yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting.
Interesting, yeah. Okay, maybe one or two more and then we'll stop.
Okay. While Chandrasekhar was waiting outside the city, he suddenly saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrive, and he fell down at the Lord's feet. Being very happy, he took the Lord to his home.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the standard etiquette, you know, to when a devotee or Lord in this case comes, you bow down dandavat. So like I said, it's all beginning from humility. Our relationship with each other, with the Lord, is humility. Even two Vaishnavas, you know, two devotees meet, they bow down, you know, bow down to each other. If they're equals, they'll bow down. If one is senior and one is junior, the junior will bow down and the senior will embrace. That's the etiquette. Like if you read in like Mahabharata and that, the Krishna is meeting the Pandavas, that Krishna would bow down to Yudhisthira and Bhima because they were senior. And Krishna would embrace Arjuna because he's equal. And they would embrace each other. They would embrace each other because they're equals. And Nakula and Sahadev would bow down to Krishna because they are junior in age to Krishna. So they would bow down. So there's the etiquette. You see the etiquette? So if there's a junior and a superior person, the junior will bow down to the superior. And the superior might not bow down, but they will offer their blessings by embracing. So the junior offers respect to the senior, and the senior offers their blessings to the junior. You get it? Offers their blessings to the junior, like that. And equals, they will embrace each other like that. So this is very nice. And what this does, if you have this right respect, you know, combination of respect and blessings, it creates really sweet relationships. So if we want to learn how to have nice, put up your hand if you want to have nice relationships. Put up your hand if you want to have dysfunctional relationships. In modern society, we have a lot of dysfunctional relationships, and you don't have to go very far to figure out why. One of the main reasons why we have really lousy relationships, because of lack of respect. There's a lack of respect. And there's also this from the superiors, they're not giving blessings. They're not being kind and merciful to the juniors. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, our relationships don't work because of that. There's no mercy coming from up to down, and there's no respect coming from down to up like that. And then it's just war, you know, and we have, you know, everyone at loggerheads, from individuals bashing head to countries, Israel and Palestine and Pakistan and India and Russia and Ukraine and individually families, everything, because we don't follow this stuff. We don't follow. Oh, you say, oh, what, you know, we're wasting our time reading Caitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita and all this Mahabharata and everything. Should do business and make money, but it's because we don't understand these things that our life is a mess. You know, our relationships are a mess. Things don't work. You might have a lot of money for a little while, but you don't have any decent relationships, and what a horrible existence. And that even then, even after a while, even the money will go because you haven't understood these things. If you don't know how to relate properly, even in business, if you don't have proper business relationships, eventually the money will also go. And we see so many people who are super rich and they become bankrupt because they didn't understand these things. Or, you're a big businessman, but then you had a divorce and then then you jump off a skyscraper out of disappointment and, like that, suicide, whatever. So this is very important to understand these things, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, Indian culture, we had a lot. I don't know. Now it's changing, I guess. But we never called our, teacher by name. We get sir and all those, and mother, father as well with respect, basically.
Mm.
If you come in Australia, father and mother, mate, all kind of things. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah, I
it's
know.
like, uh,
Yeah.
it's like as you said, senior and junior. Because senior, because you have come early, you have more knowledge. I mean, obviously, and then you. But the fact is that in India also things are changing now. You know, it's not like that. They are just. So I mean, I think yeah. Well, that's that kind of ashirwad. We used to say. I mean, if you go down and you touch your, and you get blessings from the senior. Yeah, I mean that's part of it. I mean, society. That's why fighting. I mean, there's no respect for each other. I mean, it's for senior. They bash seniors and all those kind of things. It's like yeah, but not all of them are like that. But the culture is kind of like that.
Yeah, I saw some posts that the one teacher took the phone off the student, and the student bashed the teacher. It's
Yeah.
Oh my
crazy.
God.
It's just mad. It just completely lost the plot. Like that, just society, and it's not a good future.
And
It's not going to be
the child, not for
and the support will be for the child probably. So yeah, it's not looking good for the future of society. It's not going to be sustainable. See, this what we're reading here, that's a sustainable kind of culture. What we're doing now is not going to be a good future. It's not going to be sustainable. Because you can't continue like that, these kind of relationships. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Why does the Lord give us these guidelines, that you should be humble and tolerant and compassionate and all this kind of thing? Because this is what's going to work. This is what's going to work. You can think, oh, why do I have to do what God says? I'm going to just do whatever I want. Okay, do that. It's your choice, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work, So that's why the Lord, sets an example like this, and He shows us, what's going to work, what's going to make us happy, what's going to be successful, and like that. Otherwise, sure, you can do whatever you want, but if it's against what the Lord's direction, then it's not going to work. And then that's what we experience, so many bad results in modern society, so many bad results. People are, and ultimately, the result, we want us to be happy, but what we see in modern society, people are not happy. If they're poor, they're not happy. If they're rich, they're not happy. If they're, working, they're not happy. If they're unemployed, they're not happy. So if they're single, they're not happy. If they're married, they're not happy. So no one's happy because we deviated so much from what God's, direction is. And God gives these direction not for His benefit. Well, does Krishna get any benefit out of telling us, bow down to your seniors, and senior, you got to, give blessings to your juniors? Is there any benefit for him? No, it's for our benefit, that he's giving us all these teachings like that. It's like, like Narendra, Gulshan, all of us, we're parents. So, you give good advice to your children. Is that for the parents' benefit? We're spending our time giving advice, and it's for the kids' benefit.
What's the point? They don't listen anyway.
But still, it's the parents' duty to try. And Krishna's also, he doesn't give up. Even though we're so rebellious and we don't listen to what Krishna says, but he never gives up. Just like the parent, just always keep trying to give good advice to the kids, and never gives up like that. And that's love, and that's what love is. It's unconditional, right? It's unconditional. Even whether if they follow or they don't follow, you still love them.
Sure.
Isn't it? Okay, one more and we'll call it quits for the day.
Yeah.
Tapan Mishra also heard the news of Lord's arrival in Varanasi, and he went to Chandrasekhar's house to meet him. After talking, he invited the Lord to take lunch at his place.
So this is another devotee, Tapan Mishra, that was based in Varanasi. He came there. And then so he came to meet Lord Caitanya, and then after they talked for some time, then he's inviting the Lord to take lunch. This is the culture also, that the very important duty for the grihastas should invite the devotees to have prasadam. This is main service for the grihastas. Normally grihastas are not very enlightened. Sometimes they are, but maybe not very, because they're so busy making money and everything, they don't have time for a lot of, spiritual practice. So they might not be so spiritually advanced or whatever, but they have money, so they can get nice food and nice facilities.
Yeah,
And you
Narendra,
can,
Narendra, invite me for lunch.
and then, and that way, and then they get the blessings of the devotees by inviting them. And obviously, so they're doing service by feeding the devotee, but also naturally when the devotee is with them, the devotee will be speaking. So they get to hear the philosophy by you invite the devotee to your house and you feed him and you get something valuable in return. You get spiritual knowledge. So the Divya Gyan, the spiritual knowledge you get. And also that devotee will probably, pray to Krishna. Oh, Narendra's family is so nice, please help them in Krishna consciousness, become more Krishna conscious. So then you get the blessings of the devotees as well by feeding them like that. And it's actually said if the guest leaves the house of the host fully satisfied, they leave all their good karma, their punya in your house. So it's a beautiful culture to do like that. And strictly, in that these Vedic followers would strictly follow these principles. It's very good. And it says opposite. If a guest leaves your house dissatisfied, they leave their pap in your house. So yeah, it's very important. So the people would strictly follow like this. Very nice culture. And just look at that previous verse with Chandrasekhar. He's bowed down to Lord Chaitanya, and he's so happy. It's mentioned here, being very happy. He took the Lord to his house, so he's very happy to receive the guest. Very happy to receive. Whether you know that they're coming or you don't know that they're coming, but you're very happy. If you don't know that they're coming, that's called Atiti Bhagavan. So, but you treat them like God, right? Bhagavan. So even atiti means no, there's no time. You weren't expecting, tomorrow he's coming, today he's coming, in the afternoon he's coming. They're just turning up. But even if they just turn up without you knowing, no plan or anything, you treat them like God. Means as they're not God, obviously, but you treat them as good as you would treat God. And that's the same principle with the guru. The guru is not God, but he's a very dear, confidential servant of God. So you treat the guru on the same level as if God came. If the guru comes to you, then you treat them the same as if God came to you, with that same, level like that. And however, I would say that God might come to you in a disguised form. Not, he's always carrying a flute and looking like Lord Chaitanya. God might come in a disguised form. So therefore, you should treat everyone potentially like they could be God. Because God might be coming to test, Narendra, Gulshan, Jayanti, Abai, to see how their bhakti is doing, whether they're a good service attitude or not a good service attitude, whether they're humble or proud or whatever, might be coming to test. And they might look like an old man or whatever, an old woman or a young kid or anything. You don't know. So, and Prabhupada told the devotees, you should always be thinking that God might come in any way, and you should always behave very paka behavior. You never know like that. So, and that makes things really dynamic, really interesting.
Yeah,
Always keep you on your toes. Always keep you on your toes.
yeah, definitely.
But this is what a nice life, you're so happy to see people. I mean, it said that's a sign of a advanced devotee. Should be very happy to see you. Very happy to see other devotees. If you turn up and the other people look depressed or unhappy, that's a bad sign. That means they're not doing very well. I mean, they might be dressed as a devotee or whatever and have seeker and tilak or whatever, but if they're not happy to see you, means their Krishna consciousness is very weak. Because if you're actually advanced in Krishna consciousness, you should be happy to see. He's happy to see you. I mean, we say, in that verse 5:18 in Bhagavad Gita, that a pundit, a learned person, sees everyone equally, whether you're a dog eater, an elephant, a cow. sees everyone equally, that God is Paramatmas in everyone's heart. And the individual soul, which is part of God, Amsha, as Gulshan was saying, part of God is also in the heart. So it sees everyone equally. So if you're advanced in Krishna consciousness, you'll be happy to see everyone. You know, even though I'm happy to see people that even they're not devotees. I don't really care.
Right.
You know, I mean, definitely should be happy to see a devotee, but even if they're not a devotee, should be still happy to see them. You know, we should not be. But if someone's unhappy to see a devotee, that means they're doing really bad. You know, and that why is that? How you could be unhappy to see another devotee? Maybe envy, you know, something like that. You know, in jealousy or envy. Oh, they're doing really good, this devotee. They're doing better than me. Oh, I hate them. You know, but that's really bad, you know, consciousness, to be envious of another devotee or jealous or something like that. So these things, like, and Narendra, I don't know if you remember, you know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this. These are the weeds to the Bhakti Creeper. This envy and pride, and we have to get rid of these weeds. We have to identify them. You have to be able to see them for what they are. This is a weed. And then if you find that weed in your heart, you have to pull it out. And it's not going to automatically go away. You have to identify it and make an effort to pull it out. This is not good for my Krishna consciousness. This is going to keep me in the material world if I'm always proud and arrogant and envious and jealous and lusty and greedy and angry. And I have to pull these things out, otherwise I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to be miserable. I'm never going to become happy. You cannot be happy with these weeds in the heart. You know, you might become the temple president or the GBC or some big position, but you're not going to get out of the material. You're not going to be happy, you know. You know, and Krishna will do that if you have these weeds. If you have the weed that you want a big position, Krishna might give it to you. That's the problem. If you have that weed where you want a big position better than anyone else and everything, Krishna might, okay, you have it. Easily he can give you money, position, followers, whatever, but he won't give you bhakti. You won't get it.
Well, that's why we are here, right? I mean,
What's
this
that?
is where we need to weed those out. This is the whole purpose, and this body is the medium. I mean, through which we are basically cleansing ourselves, right? I mean,
Yeah,
whole,
but the thing is to understand it's not automatic, you know. I've got the dhoti on, I've got the tilak on, I've got the seeker on, and then all these things are going to fly away. They don't. They don't. Otherwise, because there's heaps of devotees, and this is a fact, that heaps of devotees that don't deal with these things, and they've been the movement for decades, you know, and they got very big positions and everything, but they're not happy to see another devotee, you know, or you can tell they've got envy and jealousy and the things. So it's just becoming worse. It's not becoming better as things go on. And they might even be chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and seeing the deity and bowing down before the deity and that, but it's not, because Krishna knows what's in the core of your heart, and that you're attracted to all these material desires. You have all these material desires. So these are like weeds, though, these material desires. You know, anya vilasada shunyam. We have to get rid of them. That is what the bhakti is. When you have to get rid of all these rubbish things that are not favorable to Krishna's service, like that. And yeah, so but this is the real stuff, you know, that we need to be talking about, not just what we talked about. You know, you can have this relationship with Krishna and this rasa, conjugal rasa, and like blah blah blah. That's also very good, and you know we should. But this is even more foundational, is to discuss these things of removing all the junk and that like that. Because that real rasa, that loving relationship with Krishna, is never going to really come in your heart if you've got all this other junk in your heart. There's no space. It's all, your heart is filled up with all the junk, you know. So first of all, remove the junk, and then you can put that real thing in your heart, that beautiful rasa, that you have a friendly relationship with Krishna, you have a loving relationship, you have a parental relationship. Then when your heart is clean, then that can come into your heart. Otherwise, if all that junk is in there, you know, another devotee comes and you feel really bad, you know, and you want to not see their face. Then how are you going to get a loving relationship Krishna's going to go far away. Krishna's not going to come close. He's not going to want to be in our heart if we have that kind of mood, you know. So these things are very important, but hardly anyone talks about these things.
These are
But,
practical things. I think that's what we need to improve on, right? I mean, that's where we
Yeah.
need to, in real life actually apply that. I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah,
otherwise, that's the whole purpose of us being here in this world. I mean, he has created this thing to do that. Otherwise, we would
yeah,
have been ritual world if we were all right, right? If we had done everything right, we would be there. We are here to improve on
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah,
and are at different stages, so they might be more, and luckily we have found, the way, the God's word, his way, how we can, and that's what we are talking about, so we can work. It's hard, I think. I will still say it's hard because we are so materially,
yeah,
conditioned. It's very
yeah,
difficult. We still have ahankar
yeah.
and all.
And that's exactly why we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to address it. We don't want to talk it because it's hard to
Right.
admit that all this crap is in my heart. I don't
That's
want
right.
to talk about it. I
Yes.
want to pretend that I'm an advanced devotee, because it's too hard to deal. I put it. What do you call that? The what is it? The hard box, something box.
Then box.
Oh, the too hard basket.
To hard
Lo-
part.
Like at work, right? When you got all this, when you get given a job that's too hard to deal with, you have a basket for that. Oh, I'll do that later. I'll deal with that. I'll deal with this task later because it's too hard. So we call that the too hard basket. So I have some jobs here on the farm. I just keep putting off because it's too hard. And I know I have to deal with it, but I don't want to deal with it because it's hard. It's a hard job. Like I have to make this deck for something, and I'm just not good at it, and I don't like doing it, and so I just keep putting it off. I'm not going to do the deck. I do something else I like to do. But no, we have to do it. We have to deal with this because you can't reach the next stage unless you deal with the
Yeah.
previous stage. It's the same. And there'll be devotees that's all they want to hear about is Radha and Krishna's Leela and the rasa dance and everything like that. But they don't think this is important at all. That this devotee is meeting another devotee and they're so happy and they bow down to the devotee and then they're so happy to see the devotee and then they go and give them prasadam and everything. And they think this is not important. But unless you understand these things and practice these things, you're never going to get to the Rasa Leela. Never. You're never going to see the Makanchur, Krishna as Makanchur. You're never going to reach Makanchur, you know. And unless we learn to to be happy to see a devotee and bow down to them and offer respect to them and invite them, have prasadam and all these kind of things, and unless we develop this proper attitude of service, you're never going to be able to reach these high things like that. And so this is the real nuts and bolts. This is the real good stuff.
It's just
Yeah.
the devotee or everyone. We should be happy with everyone, even if somebody is doing wrong thing or whatever doing. We shouldn't be judging. I mean, we should be happy. I mean, because everyone is. I mean, just devotee is good. Yeah, you do respect devotee. You invite them. That's good because you know that you're going to learn something from them. But in general, in real life, you don't probably. We should have that attitude with everyone, even if something doing wrong. We should have some kind of a compassion towards it. He's doing
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah, compassion, yeah, yeah, yeah,
compassion rather than saying that he's not a devotee. But still, I mean, maybe we have gone through that phase or somebody is going through that phase. We are at different phases, right? Somebody hasn't learned it, we have got lucky, we find out something that okay, yeah, this works, and we have experienced a little bit, and that encourages us. But people who have not done it, we still should be happy, and then compassion should come first, I think. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah. Like sometimes I might meet a beggar and I give them a coin, give them $1 or two, and I say, can you say Hare Krishna? And then they say Hare Krishna. That's great. I feel so good. I feel so good. One time I didn't even have to say that, because they knew I was a Hare Krishna. I just put a coin in this lady's. She was so unhappy, and I put a coin in her box. And she just looked up to me and gave me a bright smile and said, Hare Krishna. And I was in ecstasy. that was the best kind of enjoyment I ever got out of $1 or $2 in my life. Normally, I mean, how much happiness are you going to get out of $1 or $2? But that was the best $1 or $2 I've ever spent. Because when she was so happy and said Hare Krishna, my happiness just went through the roof. And that was like, wow, I wish I could just spend millions of dollars like this. Because that $1 or $2 was just so good like that. So it's yes, yeah, we should be merciful to someone that's, a bit down like that. And so you deal with people differently. So, I mean, there is discrimination. We do need to have some discrimination, like that. And if you meet someone, senior to you, a devotee or whatever, then you offer some service to them, respect and everything, inquire from them. And if they're below you, whatever, then you try to lift them up, try to be, kind and to give them some mercy like that. So yeah, you do have some discrimination, but still there's that respect and love for everyone.
Mm.
Mm.
I think
Okay, well, we better not take too much time.
yeah, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
He must be hungry, Goshen.
Yeah, I am actually.
Okay, then I think we should
Thank you.
close it. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Okay, Hare Krishna, take care.
Krishna.